Hello. It's lovely that you're here. I'm so excited that you're here for Vision with the Muse. I'm going to create a few videos for you just to talk about the preparation and the tools that you might need to start collecting over the next couple of weeks before we begin. You've stepped into this because you would like to perhaps learn how to create a vision book. Or you might have already begun to vision and you've done it for a couple of years and you'd like this focused practice, which is wonderful too. I'm also going to show you how I use Muse Mantras, the artwork that I create, the healing artwork that I create, to use that as a vision prompt, which I absolutely love to do. And I can use it in journals and take it in many ways, but for this particular purpose I've chosen 7 Muse Mantras from the card deck that I created last year, and you'll have to excuse me, every time I film Luna comes to join me. So yeah, I have taken 7 Muse Mantra prompts from the deck, and I'm going to show you how you can use them to create vision pages. Okay, so you're going to be creating 7 vision pages, and the videos, there will be a few videos that will accompany them just to kind of get you into the mood of how I do it. But by no means do you copy what I do, because you will develop your own way and your own style. This is not about being creative. It's not about being artistic. Your thinking brain is not thinking about this. This is your intuitive self. It's that inner self. It's the instinct that's going to look through the magazines and find and be drawn and be pulled by those particular images that you see, and also the words. So there's no rules here, okay? There is no rules. There are no rules, I should say. I'm going to tell you now a little bit about the tools of the trade, and it's by no means major here. A good pair of scissors. These have seen a lot of visioning. I really like the long ones because then I can cut out like a whole section rather than little small scissors. Again, it's entirely up to you. It's really your preference. But yeah, a really nice pair of scissors. Again, I think these are from IKEA. Glue sticks. Cheap and cheerful. You can go and get your branded ones. Luna likes. Don't sniff glue, love. You can get your branded ones. Or you can go to the pound shop and get 5 for £1. It's entirely up to you again. These are from the pound shop. But they are really good. So I'm not worried too much about that. As far as your books are concerned, your vision books, like when I first started visioning, I used to use this, and this is what I gave it its title, the Manual for Creative Action. And in here is like a whole select. I didn't do sort of full pages in those days. These are, but they are all inspiring. And again, they're not using Muse Mantra prompts because these were before the day, but these were all about feelings, capturing what it was that I'm, wanting to manifest into my life, inviting, all that kind of thing. Oops, and something's just fallen out there. And then I kind of moved on and I found this really large one, and that, I think I found it in TK Maxx. And again, that was great for creating really big spreads. So really nice cardstock. And I had journal in there as well, and it became, that's one of my pages that was all around joyful and decadence and what it was that meant joy for me. So yeah, lots of different things. So that was, that was a really great book, but I felt it was just a little bit too big because it's bigger than A4. And then I used this, which was A4. It's actually a notebook, so this is lined. Again, these are all from the last 4.5 years. That was fine as well, and I would write in there as well. I would do all sorts of work in there. You can see the dog theme going on there, can't you? But this was a particular time, actually, just after I lost my Jack Russell Lucy. She died, and I was in a bit of a bad way, coping with that, feeling really down about it all. So this was a vision book around this time. So if you had a good look through this, you'll notice that there are lots and lots of furry things. So I think I was after some furry hugs that I was missing. And then I moved on to the Moleskine. These are the ones that I use presently and have done for the last 3.5 years. These, what they call the cahier, which is French for notebook. I use the plain ones. They're a really nice size. They're nice to hold. Yeah, I really like them. So what's really good about these is you can purchase 3 for around £10 from Amazon. What's also nice about them is they have this pocket at the back. So if you're just working with one particular book and you want to hang on to some of the cuttings, you can put the cuttings or words in the back. Yes, so that's that one, and I have moved on, and you'll recognise this page as the visual for Vision with the Muse. Yeah, I really like these books. I'm going to get some more, and I'm going to use lined ones and just see how they are. I like the blank, but I also like lined, I think, because I like writing, so I think it would be quite nice to have that. So I've got quite a selection of these, and what's nice is that, they all come together and fit together. And this is the one that I'm using at the moment, and this is the craft coloured. I think these ones are just in this grey and the craft colours, although there might be a red one as well. But I particularly like these lot. So yeah, so that's the main tools: the scissors, the glue sticks, and the actual book. So be drawn to whatever it is you're drawn to. If you are out and about and you see a really lovely notebook, try not to make it A5. I think A5 is possibly a little, A5 being that size, possibly a little bit too small, a little bit restrictive, although there is something to be said for visioning on a small scale, and I do that also. I don't know where my vision book is now, but I have got a tiny, the small Moleskine, but that's a whole different process. Yeah, so try not to make it too small and don't make it too big. So again, the Moleskine cahiers are really nice, but A4 is great, a really good size, and go for what you're pulled to and what you feel drawn to. Ultimately, that's what you need. As far as magazines go, we all know what magazines are, yeah? Don't feel that you have to go out and buy loads of magazines. I have like a lot. I have a lot. I have collected a lot over the last 10 years, and they're all different varieties, but they're predominantly female. But I do have photography, travel, National Geographic, but I don't use them all at the same time, and I use them for workshops when there's a group of people. For myself personally, I mean, my sister and I buy each other Good Housekeeping as a subscription every year for our birthdays. It's become a tradition. So I always have a selection of Good Housekeeping. Go for what you're drawn to and ask around. Go to your local library. They're always getting rid of magazines. They don't archive all of them. So ask them what they have, and your dentists as well, your hairdresser. Go and chat them up and ask them if they wouldn't mind giving you a stash full of magazines. So that's why I wanted to create this little video right now, so that you can start preparing and getting things organised for that. You won't be using all of them all of the same time. So I think if you have around between, let's say, 15 and 20, that's a really nice number. But really ask people, don't feel obliged to go out and spend, although you might like to go and treat yourself to a magazine that you don't normally buy, that you've had your eye on. Things like that for me are to do with photography, because I wouldn't normally buy photography or scenes or travel. Sometimes buying a men's magazine is quite interesting because you don't quite know what comes out. And, you know, children's magazines can sometimes be quite inspiring as well. So don't rule them out at all. Just as I wouldn't rule out newspaper supplements, weekend magazines, postcards that you pick up if you're out and about in coffee shops, things that you're drawn to ultimately. You know, things as you're out and it catches your eye and you go over and you see a range of cards or postcards or flyers on the table. Collect what is you know, grabbing your attention. Okay, so that's this first little video that gives you a little bit of an intro to the tools of the trade and what you need to create them. In one of the videos, I also talk about taking photographs off your phone, and you can also add them into the vision. So if that's the case, you hopefully will feel familiar in connecting your phone to your computer and creating a Word document where you can put the photographs in and then print out maybe one page. If anybody needs any assistance with that, please let me know, and I'll be happy to oblige to help, or mention it in the group that we're in, and I'm sure there'll be lots of people with ideas. I'm also going to be giving you the actual images of the Muse Mantras that we're going to be using for the 7 days. So again, you will want to print them off as well. And also don't print them too big. Again, you've got to fit them on your page. So the smallest the better, really. I think these ones that I printed were, I think they're 3 by 2 inches. I just wanted to get them all on one page. Okay. All right, I hope that's been helpful. Ask away if there's any questions for me, and I will do my utmost to get those answers to you as soon as possible. But I'll see you in the next video. Bye.